In this video, I want to talk a little bit about an upcoming action-adventure RPG that looks absolutely incredible. Quite a bit of attention has been surrounding it, and that is Black Myth Wukong. Now, it got a brand new trailer a little while ago, and we do have a release time frame. That's a little bit concerning considering it is so far out. We'll talk about that. PlayStation 5 has also smashed another record. I don't think as meaningful, but it has smashed the dollar sales record in the US, previously held by the Nintendo Wii, and I do also want to talk a little bit about God of War Ragnarok. We don't know much about the game, but it does seem like it's making quite a bit of progress, and Herman Hulst, head of PlayStation Worldwide Studios, is excited to show it to the public sometime in the future. We'll talk that briefly at the end of this video. But Chinese developer Game Science Studios has released a brand new trailer for its upcoming action-adventure RPG, Black Myth Wukong. Now, this trailer came out a few days ago, I believe, back on like Monday or something like that. This game looks incredible. Now, it, from a visual standpoint, looks on another level. Who knows how the final product will actually turn out, but this is what I'm personally very excited for, because I'd like to see Wukong get a great video game. We had that Wukong game that released a little while ago, I want to say sometime last year, and it didn't turn out to be that great. I was a Wukong main for a while on League of Legends, so, you know, Wukong kind of hits home with me a little bit more, and I love the character, so I want to see him get a high-quality video game, and this is definitely shaping up to be something exactly like that. There is a couple of things to ascertain, though. Right now, we only know that it's coming to PC. I would imagine it would come to other platforms as well, and they did note on PC and all mainstream platforms. I would imagine that being PS5, Series X. Don't think this game is going to get a Nintendo Switch release unless another Nintendo platform comes out or something to that extent. And it was also noted that a release time frame is 2023, so that is 2 years from now, and a lot can change in 2 years. Who knows? If in 2019 you told me that the world state was going to be as it is right now in 2021, I probably would have said that you're full of S, but here we are, and this is what happens. 2 years is a long time, a lot of things can change. Who knows, the game could get canceled. Let's absolutely hope that doesn't happen, because this is looking to be an incredible action RPG. I know quite a few people are talking about it, but it's still one that I don't think has garnered, like, the mainstream, gaming press buzz or anything like that. Maybe that's because it is so far away and we don't have any definitive nature in terms of what platforms it's exactly coming out on. And again, it being a few years away, that is going to take quite a while. We've seen footage of it before and it looked great back then, but seeing this trailer definitely puts the game on another level, so definitely keep this one on your radar. I definitely will, and I'll give you guys updates as we do get them, but let's hope it does hit that 2023 window. But these days, I've become a little bit pessimistic when it does come to video game release windows more often than not. If a game is really far out, that is going to change quite a bit. Okay, moving on from that, the PlayStation 5 has smashed dollar sales record in the US, previously held by the Nintendo Wii in 2009. The NPD group has revealed that the PlayStation 5 has managed to smash a dollar sales record previously held by the Nintendo Wii back in 2009, and that was during the month of January 2021. Obviously, this is interesting because PlayStation 5s have been very hard to get, but you also have to consider the fact that PS5 is a very high in-demand console that goes for $400 to $500. Nintendo Wii obviously a little bit different, but Nintendo Wii's back in 2009, I forget when the Wii stock really started to be readily available, but I remember it initially came out, what, late 06, I want to say, late 06 or late 07, and then for a long time, we're talking 16 to 24 months after the release of the console, it was hard to find. Like, it's not PlayStation 5 hard to find. You could go into a store and maybe get lucky and the Wii would be in stock. Obviously, with the PlayStation 5, that's not necessarily the case right now, but it was definitely difficult to find. I remember a lot of times I wanted to get a Wii and it was just out of stock everywhere. PlayStation 5s, obviously, they're just completely on another level at this point in time, but we're only, 3 months after the release of the PlayStation 5. Where with the Wii, I'm talking, like, that was happening, 16 months after the launch of the console, if I have my timetable correctly. But I remember when the Wii came out in the following months, for a while, it was a very difficult console to get a hand of. There was a lot of issues with the Wii. The console was always in demand, but the attachment rate for games wasn't always the best, but that's something entirely different. Also, it should be noted, video game sales, total spending up 42% year on year, hitting $4.2 billion in total. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War doing really well, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla doing quite well as well. Even though COD, for a lot of people, they've kind of soured on the franchise a little bit, there is still such a huge audience for that game, which is crazy to think about. I mean, I always thought COD was at its peak when I was in, like, grade school, when Modern Warfare 2 came out, Modern Warfare 1, all that stuff, but really, Call of Duty continues to be incredibly popular when you're talking about games like Black Ops Cold War, games like Warzone even. Warzone does incredibly well, and then Assassin's Creed as well. I had a strong feeling Assassin's Creed Valhalla from a commercial standpoint was going to do very well. I thought they did a good job promoting the game, and just, talking to my friends that are casual consumers, they all seemed to know about the game and be interested in it. I think they landed on a setting that was very appealing towards a lot of people. My personal opinions on the game aside, and I have been pretty positive towards the game, I think Ubisoft did a pretty good job promoting that game. But yeah, interesting to see gaming in general doing very well. I mean, not only the PlayStation 5, I mean, there's been a lot of tension on the PlayStation 5 being this crazy in-demand console, but you look at the Series X and Series S even, those consoles are doing incredibly well as well. You can make an argument, hey, there's a lot of scalpers buying them up. But I think right now, from a business standpoint, gaming is at a very healthy position, even if you don't agree with everything going on, whether it be loot boxes, microtransactions, $70 games, XYZ happening. I think from a business standpoint, a lot of people are doing really well, and I do think people are invested into gaming, and I think sales numbers are clearly reflecting that. Okay, one thing I do want to quickly note, God of War Ragnarok is a game that's scheduled for a release in 2021. I've been pretty, I've made it pretty apparent, press X to doubt on that one. I do not think it's going to come out in 2021 just because all we got was a teaser trailer that just showed off the logo. We barely heard anything about the game. Maybe I am underestimating how far along the game is, and, Sony Santa Monica just wants to be quiet about the game before they do a significant gameplay reveal. But if we just have it in our head that the latter half of the year is going to have Horizon, Final Fantasy 16, and God of War, I'm sorry, that just sounds like too good to be true, and I just know how things work out. One of those is getting delayed, and I'm putting my money on God of War. Hell, I could see Final Fantasy 16 getting delayed as well. But Herman Hulse talked a little bit about the game in a PlayStation blog post where he noted, playing God of War 2018 was a great experience for me. That series has always had amazing action and combat, but the emotional depth Santa Monica brought to Kratos' story as a father was very memorable, especially since my son was only a little bit older than Atreus when I played it. So to see and hear the reaction to that tiny glimpse we unveiled at the PlayStation Showcase last September was very exciting. I can't wait for people to see what Santa Monica is making. So obviously, Hulse definitely has an idea about where the game is. I don't know, this is just one. I'm really excited to see God of War, and I'm sure Ragnarok is going to be a great game, but part of me just thinks, man, maybe the cart was pushed a little bit before the horse and the game is not coming out in 2021. I think at this point, everybody's just cool with delays after what happened with Cyberpunk 2077, and I think, we just kind of have to accept. I mean, look at all the games that have already been delayed this year, and I think a lot more are going to be coming just with, the state of the world and everything like that. I just think it would be more effective if it was kept under wraps a little bit more. Don't even announce release windows and things of that nature, because a lot of the times they're really hard to keep up with. And there is always a divisive reaction when a game gets delayed. I know a significant notion is, hey, you put out the game when it's ready, but at the same time, you can also not announce a release window that you're not going to be comfortable to hit. That is all me saying this, and maybe Santa Monica is like, bro, this game is so far along, it's ready to go here soon. But it's more of a general thing, and hey, if I'm playing God of War Ragnarok this year, that's going to make me a very happy camper, because that means Ratchet & Clank, God of War, Horizon, Final Fantasy 16, Returnal. I mean, if you talk about a slate of exclusives, that's a pretty insane slate of exclusives that any platform can have. But that's going to wrap up this one. Definitely let me know your thoughts on Black Myth Wukong. Releasing in 2023, PC and all major platforms. We'll see how that turns out. PlayStation 5 breaking records and gaming in general doing very well. And God of War Ragnarok, do you guys actually think the game is releasing in 2021? Am I just being overly pessimistic? Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below, and sound off with all of your thoughts. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.